I am in favor of just shortening the All-Star break. If they don't go through with it, man, I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
Would
But you
you
do have
are you
some
even like
thoughts
with that
against it.
though? Like next year's an Olympic year, so are you of that mind for just because of the Olympics, or just even in general? Because I know like
Um,
Batman said, like the bar is raised because of Four Nations, and this is the thing
okay,
now with Four Nations and Olympics, we'd actually have it every like you'd only have it like every other year an
every
All Star event, right?
yeah,
So
okay. So I'm right now. How many years in a row have we done an All-Star game? Like uninterrupted. Has it been like it's probably been 40
since
years,
well, I guess I don't even remember if we do on the Olympic years that we've had like in 2014. I think there was. Yeah, like I don't know the last time we didn't have one. Probably COVID.
right? Um,
And that took a goddamn global pandemic, right? So like that's a exception to the
so
rule.
so we like didn't really have one in the global pandemic. It came back, right? Or even if we did, it wasn't like as its normal self. But then it came back and we got to see it like in full force. It literally came into our city. Like we were in the city for that event. And it just for me, it just kind of felt like another night. Like, okay, it was
Yeah, okay.
heightened. Like
Yeah.
in the city, it was probably like fun. But I'm
This
I'm
this
gonna
goes back to like what you said, like the kids stuff, like in terms of like making it kind of
localize.
more just for local families, whatever. I think back to when I was a kid and like I would play the NHL video game and I would simulate like East versus West pretty often. And I remember it must have been like maybe 2012 when it was just like it was still East versus West, those blue versus red jerseys, and like being invested in Marian Gaborik winning the player of the game in the All-Star game, like for absolutely zero reason other than like, yeah, I like that guy in the video game. He plays for the Rangers now. Like that's cool. Yeah, like I you think my dad watched that game with me? Hell no. Hell no, right? So like maybe it is just like a for kids event, right? Maybe we just
Yeah,
aged out
I
of it.
mean, maybe that's what it is. I think
But
maybe
that isn't good for growth, right? Like that's like you want to put on an event that everyone can watch.
yeah, I mean, is it though? Because they have tried their best to integrate like we see it
It's
in
been
this
all
game.
gimmicks though, right? Like it's
Yeah, I guess you're
gimmick
right.
this,
Like, do
gimmick that.
kids, but do kids see through the gimmicks? Like,
I think
when did
this
you
is the thing
start
is I
seeing
think the
through it?
kids are watching anyway. Like the kids are watching no matter what. The kids
Okay,
just if the
fair.
kids love hockey, they're gonna watch the hockey on TV.
See
Right?
now,
Like when
now
we
the
were a kid, we
thing
loved seeing Phil Kessel get drafted last. We That was hilarious to us, right? Like,
now the thing for me though is like you look like we can compare the NBA all we want, but the NBA for the longest time was like the gold standard in terms of doing all-star
yeah.
games as compared to the
This year,
rest. No, I know. Like
right?
I'm saying in
Yeah,
years past,
sure.
did
Historically,
that ever feel like it was just marketed towards kids? You know what I
no,
mean?
that you're right. You're right. It was just yeah. It was never
It's just a fun
there was
time. It's
never
a
a
fun
slant.
event.
Yeah. So, um, okay,
Okay.
I'm going in the opposite direction where I'm saying in like two Bettman's words. Four Nations raised the bar. I might have even like given this idea on the show. I can't remember, but I'll like flush it out here. If you want to illegitimize the All-Star game, like you make it something that has to be earned instead of just like the fan vote stuff. There's teams around the NHL, and not every club does it, but I know like the Oilers for sure do this. They hold their own skills competition at some point in the year, right? You open it up to the local fans and you host it at your arena one night on an off night. Okay. And like there is some pride to that, right? Like I'm sure McDavid's won that award, or I think like Caleb Jones when he was an Oiler, he might have like challenged McDavid one of those years, or maybe even beat him. Like
For
the Seth
fastest
Jones, the
skater,
Jones Bros, yeah, yeah. The Jones Bros are known for their top
their
speed.
speed, yeah.
Anyways, like I would make it so that every single NHL team has to host their own skills competition, maybe before the new year. So anytime from the start of the season till the end of December, okay, you have to host your skills comp.
Okay.
And like well, you can the NHL can decide what events it has to be. Maybe it's just hardest shot, fastest skater. It would have to be like a lot of individual stuff, obviously, right?
Hmm.
But you go that route, and how many times would have like Ilya Mikheyev won the competition while he was with the Leafs, or like right, like you would have
Fastest skater,
had,
yeah.
yeah, and like you would have had a much more accurate representation at the actual All Star game. Like imagine if it's like only the top 15 skaters. So like not even if you win like the Chicago Blackhawks skills comp are you guaranteed to go to the All-Star game. Like it can be like a
Okay,
you can say
I'm
I'm
starting to see what the
like
vision is.
you're
So
trying to
basically,
legitimize this and you want to
you
make it so
want
that it's almost like Olympic style, man. These
you
are
want
events that you got to come.
prelims.
Yeah, man. Like
Yeah,
let's lean
okay,
into
okay.
this. I would be so invested in seeing, oh my God, Pontus Holmberg is going up against Austin Matthews in the hardest comp finals or hardest shot finals. Like
Okay.
I'd be so
So
into that.
now here is the flip side. I just thought of one like
Okay.
because
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know if
I
I've
want
heard this
counters to
thought.
this because like, yo, you hear I'm
Okay.
invested in this.
So
I'm already excited.
what happens when Pontus Holmberg makes it in and
Yeah.
Austin Matthews doesn't?
So this is like let's say Austin Matthews, for example, he's going through an injury. Like I honestly think he can like you can be allowed to hold out. Like we don't have LeBron in the dunk comp, right? We don't have Steph every year in the 3-point comp, right? You don't have always the best guys. And I think if you open it up to the entire league, there is absolutely enough talent where people will be excited with the final product at the All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
I
No,
think without a doubt.
I get that. I get that 100%. The thought though is they I don't think they want to see Pontus Holmberg there. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
we wanted to see John Scott at one point. We were fully bought in on that. If and it's not like you're not shoehorning like a guy in. They have to earn the right. Like
You're
if
right.
Ilya
Yeah.
Mikheyev is simply by fact the fastest skater on his team, it wasn't a gimmick. He went out and did that. And maybe it's in a year where yeah, like I said, Kasperi Kapanen right now. He's the teammate of McDavid. McDavid's injured right now. If that's the case, like there's enough depth where you can survive an injury to some guys some year. Like I think that would be going all in on something that works every year, no matter what, even in an
Mhm.
Olympic years or for nations years, because once again, you're talking about the whole league.
Yeah,
If
instead of the
McDavid's not
select
available because
few.
he's going to the Olympics and it crosses over, like you can still tune in for the other guys. Like I'd be so into
Okay.
that.
So now
Maybe this is
is
too pie in the
that
sky though.
okay? So now we were talking about the NBA All-Star game, and we talked about it like
Yeah.
during the thing, like during like when it was on and is in comparison to the Four Nations. Does that not also so their crowning achievement for the past 20 plus years has been the dunk competition? Does okay, I guess there's really no event that equates to that in the NHL.
It's
But
like yeah, there's not really hardest
would we
shot.
start to see like Mac McClung, who's the G League
Yeah,
player
so the
and all
Mac
that stuff?
McClung,
Is
Martin
that
Fur
what we want to see though?
Martin Furt
Like,
set the record in the
I
AHL.
get
Like
it.
he beat Chara's hardest shot in the AHL All Star comp, but like
I
that
get
made the
it.
rounds for a day.
I feel like the fanfare for Mac McClung winning as compared to Dwight
But
Howard
you
in
know,
2008.
definitely. But you know why? Because now Mac McClung has won it how many times now? Two times, three times. Like he's done it
Yeah,
multiple
yeah,
times, and he doesn't go up against guys that are representative. Like it, that's almost a volunteer event, right? So with these trials,
three
right? Like
times.
if you do these prelims, you like I said, you get the right guys there. You're not just
Yeah,
saying,
no, I get it. I'm
Mitch. Like, does anyone want to see Mitch Marner in the hardest skills shot competition, right? Hardest shot comp? Like, no,
yeah,
because he
yeah, he's
wouldn't be
not.
there on his own merit.
Yeah.
All the guys, it would be an all on merit event. I don't know. You want to bring in Mando
Okay.
here? Mando, you got anything on
Yeah,
this
I
or
think
like the
we
GM
should.
stuff? Yeah.
I'm having a tough time. Like I get it. I
The
listen.
logistics would be tougher. Like, this is now something you have to organize every year. You got to get a bunch of like every single team involved. That's another night on the calendar that they've got to be at home on and off night. Like, but to me, this is just my all in approach. That's what I would do if I was GM for day. This would be very high on like my things that I would try to implement list. Like it's pretty high.